Aloha, folks, and welcome to BIOL 130 Lab. My name is Professor Sandro Jovet, and I'm the instructor for this course. And the purpose of this video is to walk you through our Lamaku site and also the syllabus so that you folks know exactly what you need to do and where you need to find things. Okay? So let me share my screen with you so that we can go over the Lamaku site. All right, folks. So this is our site. This is the Bio 130 lab, and the CRN is 55413 for Lelehua High School Spring 2026. And guys, when you click on our class, our Lamaku site, this is what we call the landing page for the site, okay? And what I want you guys to do, I want you to click right here on the left upper corner. You're going to click on the content. And then I wanted to click on the course overview. Now, what is this course overview? The course overview is basically just an overall look at the course, overall look at the class, okay? You're going to find information here that you can also find in our syllabus as well. So this here is just an easy way, an easy, quick way to find information about the course. What kind of information you're going to find in here? You're going to find, for example, my contact information. The best way to get a hold of me, folks, is through email. This is how you're going to communicate with me, okay? And my email address is sandro@hawaii.edu, just my first name at hawaii.edu, and I usually reply within 24 hours. All right? Guys, don't be scared. If you have an issue, if you have a problem with a class, if something you're not understanding, if something is confusing, please send me an email. If I can solve the problem through email, I'm going to do that. Otherwise, we can set up an appointment and we can meet through Zoom and we can discuss your issue that way. Okay? I want you guys to understand that I am always available. All right? Keeping in mind that this is an online asynchronous class. What does that mean to be asynchronous? It means that we don't have any scheduled meetings. You guys are going to be working at your own pace, on your own. Okay? Now, that being said, the exams are proctored and are closed book. We have a total of 3 exams for the lab, and I'm going to go over the exams. I'm going to talk about them, but all 3 exams are closed book and they are proctored. And you're going to be taking those exams in your school, at your high school, when you meet Mr. Brian White. Okay? Mr. Brian White is the one that is going to be proctoring the exams, and all the exams are already scheduled for the times and the days that you guys meet with Mr. Brian White. Okay? That's very important to understand. What do you need to start the class, to take this class? Of course, you need a desktop computer or a laptop or a tablet, and you need access to the internet so that you can access our Lamaku site. Our Lamaku site is where you're going to go, folks, to find everything for the course. Okay? There is a lab manual. You don't need to purchase anything for this class. It's a text, course is a cost zero cost. And that means you don't need to purchase anything for the class. The lab manuals, I'm going to provide them to you as well. I'm going to show you where they are. You can find them under the Important Resources tab here on Lamaku. And we also have several lab activities. Most of the lab activities, guys, will be done using a website called Edpuzzle. And here is a link to the Edpuzzle site. Okay? The first thing that you guys need to do on Monday when the class starts, you need to go to the Edpuzzle site. And if it's this first time you are logging in, you need to enter the class code. And this is the class code right here. Okay? And you're going to sign in with your full name. I need your full name in order for me to track who is doing the activities, okay? If you don't use your full name, I can't know who you are. I can't give you credit for the lab activities. Don't put nicknames, don't put initials, Use your full name. All right, very important. There's some optional material. There's a website that is hosted by KCC, the Capilani Community College. And this website, there's a lot of pictures of anatomical models, human anatomical models, the skeletal system, muscular system, etc. And you can access this site using this login information and this password right here. Okay, again, an extra material, optional material to help you prepare for the class. Now, what about the grading? The total amount of points that you can earn for the class is 375 points, folks. Where are those points coming from? 75 points, they're going to come from 15 what we call pre-lab assignments. Every pre-lab assignment is going to be worth 5 points. I'm going to show you where to find the pre-lab assignments and how to turn them in. They are super easy, super quick to turn in, to complete and turn in. Each one of them is worth 5 points. Okay? If you turn them in, and if you completed all of them and turn them in, it's 5 points. If you don't, no points. All right? You can find them under the Assignments tab on Lamaku, and you can also turn them in using the Assignments tab. Once again, I'm going to show you where to find them. Another 75 points, they're going to come from the lab activities. Every lab, there will be an activity related with the lab. Several of the lab activities are watching videos on Edpuzzle. Okay? And some other activities for other labs is going to be something different. But you can find all the activities that are listed within each one of the weeks for the semester. Another 75 points is going to come from the lab quizzes. The lab quizzes are also on Lamaku. Everything is on Lamaku. And I'm going to show you where they are. We have a total of 15 lab quizzes taken online on Lamaku. Each one of them is worth 5 points. Okay? You only have one chance to take the quizzes, but you're going to have 30 minutes. Once you start a quiz, you're going to have 30 minutes to finish. And those quizzes are open book. You can use any resource that you want. You can work with another classmate. It doesn't matter. You can do anything that you want with the quizzes. The only thing that is closed book and proctor is going to be the 3 exams. All right? And then you're going to have the rest of the points, 150 points out of the total is going to come from the lab exam. So there's a total of 3 lab exams. Each one is worth 50 points. Okay? Once again, all the exams are proctored and they are closed book. And you can find the exams also right here on Lamaku. I'm going to show you where to find the lab exams. Once you start the lab exam, you're going to have 1 hour and 10 minutes to take the exam. Okay? What is the format of the exam? The exam is all anatomy questions. You're going to have 50 questions. Each one of them is going to have a picture of a model, and then you need to type in the name of the structure that I'm pointing to. Now, the good news is that there is a study guide for each one of the exams. I'm going to show you where this study guide is. Okay? How to begin the course? Very important. The first thing you need to do, you got to go to the edpuzzle.com website, and you're going to log in with your full name, and you're going to enter the class code right here in order to be linked to my course on Edpuzzle. All right? Right here at the bottom, you can find the schedule for the entire semester, what we're going to be doing for each one of the weeks. Week 1, Lab 1, Week 2, Lab 2, and it's going to tell you also when everything is due. The pre-labs, the lab activity, and the lab quizzes. Guys, for every lab, you're going to have 1 pre-lab assignment, 1 lab activity, and 1 lab quiz. Okay? For each one of the labs, a total of 15 points. 5 points coming from each one of them. Okay? Now let's go back up here. Right here, you can find this folder called the Important Resources. If you click on that tab, here you're going to find the course learning outcomes. You're going to find online course tools. And these online course tools here, there are some more resources in order for you how to take an online class and how to navigate the Lamaku. And you also have some course-specific information right here. And this course-specific information, you have the textbook, which is the same textbook that I use for the lecture, the BIOL 130 lecture. And that's where we're going to find. And I also give you information on how to do the pre-lab assignments, how to do the in-lab activities, how to do the lab quizzes, and how the exams work. Okay? There's a lot of information there for you. Going back here to the important resources, you're also going to find our syllabus. So we can click here on this link, and the syllabus for the BIOL 130 lab is going to open up. Again, you find my email address, and you also find my phone number, my personal cell phone number. If you have any emergency, you want to get a hold of me, you can call me or you can text me, and you have my number right here. All right? If you scroll down all the way to the bottom of the syllabus, you're going to find the course schedule for the spring 2026. Again, everything that we're going to do for each one of the weeks and when are the lab assignments, lab activities, and the quizzes due, and also our exams. They're also scheduled here. Our first exam is not going to be until February 25th, which is a Wednesday, and you're going to be meeting again between 9:55 and 11:10 when you are going to meet Mr. Brian White. Okay, this is when you're going to be taking all three of the exams. And going back here, we also have a lab course schedule file. If you click on that, you can go directly to the course schedule. So you know exactly what we're going to be doing for each one of the weeks and when things are due. I do not accept late work, folks. If you turn in, if you don't take the quizzes, if you don't turn in the lab assignment, if you don't do the lab activity within the scheduled time, you will not get points for them. I do not accept late work. Okay, very important to remember. You're going to have a week to finish the pre-lab assignment, the lab quiz, and the lab activity. There is no reason for you to be late to turn them in. All right? Do not let the time pass. Also here, you're going to find the PowerPoint slides for each one of the labs, guys, from lab 1 all the way through lab 15. And once again, I mentioned this for the lecture as well. The most important resource that you have for you to prepare for the exams, for the lab exams, are the video lecture, the video recordings that I have here on Lamaku for each one of the labs, and the PowerPoint slides. All right? This is what you need to do well for the class. That information is right here. If I haven't covered in class, you're not responsible for it. Also right here, you can find the lab manuals for each one of the labs, lab 1 all the way through lab 15. You can also find the pre-lab assignments right here as well. And there's another place in which you can find the pre-lab assignments. Now, we also have this lab exam list. Guys, what are these? These are the study guides for each one of the exams. You have a study guide for the lab 1. You have a study guide for lab 2, lab exam 2, and you have a study guide for lab exam 3. Let me click on one of this one right here, for the first exam. For the first exam, the exam is going to cover bones and muscles, the skeletal system and the muscular system. Okay? Now, here we have a list of bones, and you have a list of muscles that you need to know for the exam. If it is a bone that is not in the list, if it is a muscle that is not included in the list, you are not responsible for it. It will not be on the exam. So folks, you need to start going through this list right now, today. Okay, because especially for the first exam, we have a lot of bones, we have a lot of muscles. So there's a lot of names of bones and muscles that you need to memorize for the exam. If you don't start to study for the lab exam right now, you will fail that exam. Guarantee you. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to warn you. Don't procrastinate, folks. Start going through this list right now. You have access through all of the exam list for exam 1, 2, and 3. Start studying for that first exam. Okay? The other thing that I want to mention about the exams, the lab exams, is that you only need to worry about the name of the structure. You don't need to worry about the function of the structure. The exams is only about anatomy, and anatomy is a study of the structure. Physiology is a study of the function. All the exams, the lab exams, are only going to ask anatomy questions, only naming of structures, naming of bones, naming of muscles, naming of parts of the heart, naming of sections of the brain, etc. Okay? There is no function question. There's no physiology question. Just anatomy questions. Okay? And then all the way here at the bottom, we have an anatomy links. And again, these are all different resources that you guys can use to help you prepare for the exams. These are all free websites which contains pictures of anatomical models. You know, anatomical model of the skeletal system, anatomical model of the muscular system, anatomical model of the brain, anatomical model of the heart, anatomical model of the eyes, anatomical model of the ears, etc. These are all free resources for you to help you prepare for the exam. Okay? And make sure that you use them. All right? All right, let's get back here all the way to the top. And now we can see again that the entire semester is divided into 18 weeks. If you click on the week 1, you can find everything that you need to do for that week is contained right here, folks. You have a video lecture that I have recorded for the lab. You have the lab manual for the lab 1, for the first lab. You have, you're going to find the pre-lab assignments and how to turn it in. You're going to have the in-lab activity, and you're going to have access to the lab quiz, okay? And you also have right here the PowerPoint slides for that lab. And again, you're going to find that for each one of the weeks. Week 2, we're going to cover lab 2. Week 3, we're going to cover lab 3, and so forth. All right, if you go all the way to week 7, this is when we're going to take our first exam. Again, it's already scheduled here. February 25th, 9:55 a.m. to 11:10 a.m. You're going to have 1 hour and 10 minutes to take the lab exams. And remember, they are closed book and they are proctored. You don't take the exams at home, guys. You take the exams in your school when you meet Mr. Brian White. Okay? Now, let me talk a little bit more about the assignments. If you come in here and you click on the assignments tab, guys, up here, you're going to find the pre-lab assignments for each one of those weeks. And when they are open, this one is going to open on Monday, January 12th, and it's going to close on January 18th. So you have until January 18, 11 p.m. to turn them in. You're going to find a file there. Okay, you need to complete the file, and then you need to upload the completed file to each one of those folders right here. When it's time for them, they're going to be open. You're going to be able to access them, and this is how you're going to find the pre-lab assignment and submit them right here on each one of these folders. Okay, so we can see right here there is a folder for each one of the weeks. And then there are some weeks in which there are no pre-lab assignments that are due. All right. You can also find the quizzes and the exams right here under the quizzes tab. And you can see your grades right here on this grade tab. Everything that is going to be graded is going to be included right here, and you're going to have access to them. Okay? All right, folks, this is all that I wanted to go through with you for the lecture, for the lab. Once again, if you have any questions, first of all, make sure that you read the syllabus carefully. Go over the syllabus, okay? Line by line, and make sure that you read them. Make sure that you understand what you need to do. If you have any questions, if you have any issues, if you are confused about anything in the course, please send me an email and I will help you. You are not alone. Even though this is an asynchronous class, you are not alone. I'm here to help you. Okay? Folks, have a great semester. Please take the class seriously. It is a difficult course. It is anatomy and physiology, but all of you have the capacity to get an A for this class, or at least a B. I hope all of you get an A. Okay? And I'm going to do my best to make sure that you get the best possible grade for the course. Don't let things slide by. Please contact me if you have any issues. Have a great semester, and I'll see you guys later.